European Darts Trophy 2016. Er ist ein WM-Teilnehmer, war bei der Weltmeisterschaft 2014 mit dabei, überstand damals die Vorrunde, verlor dann in Runde 1 gegen den späteren Weltmeister Michael van Gerwen. Er kommt aus Graz und hat den Nickname The Hypercane. Herzlich willkommen, Zoran Lerchbacher.
Time to get real.
Zoran Lerchbacher tritt gegen einen Mann aus England an, 32 Jahre ist er alt, er kommt aus Bolton, stand im letzten Jahr einmal im Viertelfinale auf der European Tour, konnte im Mai 2015 seinen bislang einzigen PDC Pro Tour Erfolg feiern. Die aktuelle Nummer 42 der Welt, Shaggy Joe Murnan. Gespielt wird an diesem Wochenende die Distanz Best of 11 Legs. Man braucht also 6 Legs, um in die zweite Runde einzuziehen. Und der Caller dieser ersten Partie ist The Puppy, George Noble.
Welcome to the RWE Arena in Mulheim in Germany for the 8th European Tour event of 2016. We've just got 3 more to go this year as the top players in the world battle it out for a place in the European Championship, a tournament that was hosted right here in Mulheim in the past. Now, a Euro Tour venue, and we're in the second of a triple header Euro Tour weekend. Weekend after weekend after weekend. The first one, won by Mensur Suljovic last Sunday, claiming his first PDC title, and what a win for the gentle. He's going to be at the European Championship, make no mistake about that. The two guys that kick us off this weekend, we've got 6 sessions of action, 3 days of action with the final on Sunday evening. And the two guys kicking us off here, Zoran Lerchbacher, the Austrian, against Joe Murnan, the lad from Bolton. 8 games this afternoon, 8 games this evening. I'm Dan Dawson, and in the commentary box alongside me,
to throw first.
Chris Murphy sat alongside me for this.
Yeah, well, we had an Austrian winner last weekend in Rotterdam, and we've got an Austrian kicking off proceedings here with Zoran Lerchbacher. Certainly opportunities for these unseeded qualifiers,
50
as was proven in the event that you commentated on last week.
Yeah, certainly was. I mean, we had 4 unseeded players making it through to the quarterfinals. That's as many as we've seen on the European Tour. The big news is that the world #1, Michael van Gerwen, has recovered from his ankle injury. He is here this weekend. He was a late withdrawal last time out. We didn't know how serious the problem was, but it's evidently not been serious enough to keep him out of this one. So MVG will be the man to beat. However, the last 2 years that we've held this tournament, MVG has been beaten in the final by the same man, Michael Smith. Michael Smith winning his first Euro Tour event at the European Darts Trophy. Beating Michael van Gerwen in the final there. That was when it was held in Leipzig in the east of Germany. Last year it moved to the RWE Arena here in Mulheim, and he beat van Gerwen again. He beat him 6-2 with an incredible display of finishing in that final. Can Michael Smith make it 3 on the spin?
Yeah, we'll see the seeded players, the 16 seeded players join the action tomorrow. James Wade also returning after illness kept him out last weekend. But for today,
60.
The qualifiers, the unseeded players, go head-to-head. 48 players in this tournament, 16 of them will depart on this Friday here in Mulheim.
30.
Yeah, and it's Terry Jenkins, the number 13 seed, who awaits the winner of this opening match here. Zoran Lerchbacher, we saw him in Austria earlier this year, win his first game on the European Tour. He managed to beat Jeffrey de Zwaan 6-4. He got an absolute hiding from Jelle Klaassen in the next game, got done 6-0. But having won on the European Tour now, Zoran, be looking to build on that. But here's Joe Murnan, just missing out on the first maximum of the weekend. But he is down to a finish on the Lerchbacher throw.
The Lerchbacher looking to put another one alongside that to leave a tidy finish himself.
140.
And that's exactly what he does.
31.
Some way to start the weekend, this, if it goes in. Ooh, needed the treble 17.
91.
Leaves himself tops, but Lerchbacher will look at double 18 to get the first leg on the board. Decent enough guide.
Short in the first
just fires in a different bit of the bed, and Lerchbacher does hold his throw to kick things off this weekend. We've got some big names in action today, you know, before the seeded players come in. We've got
93.
lots of Mervyn King, Joe Cullen, who's playing some excellent darts at the minute. Andy the Pieman Smith back on the Euro Tour. What a weekend this could be for the Pieman.
140.
Just in this afternoon session, we've got games like Josh Payne against Christo Reyes. The Pieman himself takes on Robbie Green. Mervyn King plays Dimitri Vandenberg. So some
57.
real tasty clashes in this Friday afternoon session.
Yeah, not bad at all. And Lerchbacher, having kicked off 140 in this leg, looking to apply some real pressure on Murnan's throat.
60.
Doesn't really take advantage of it there. Murnan, a PDC title winner himself, of course. Didn't even have a tour card when he went and won one of the Players'
95.
Championship events last year. He was just one of the guys who made up the numbers when the tour card holders dropped out. You know, we don't get the full load of tour card holders turning up to every event, so there's opportunities for those guys who picked up a lot of points
140.
in Q School but not quite done enough to get themselves a card. And Murnan just turned up and ended up winning the whole thing, beat Chizzy in the final. And is he going to fire a third one in the treble here? No.
140.
This is out again.
Drawing you require 161.
Yeah, he'd won a couple of Challenge Tour events that year, Joe Murnan. He was playing his trade on the Challenge Tour, the sort of second tier of darts for the players on the PDC. And as you said, went there, ended up in the match play, ended up in the World
99.
Championship,
So you
beat
require
Andy Hamilton in the World
160.
Championship. He did celebrate before he'd even won that match, actually, if we remember rightly.
No celebrations on this visit. Needed the
60.
treble for a go at the
Drawing
double.
you require
And
62.
Zoran for a 2-0 lead. Treble 10 for double 16, is it? That was the route. Tops for 2-0.
22.
And this is
So you require 56.
Opportunity goes missing for Zoran Lerchbacher, but Murnan still needs to find the double top, and he does.
Shot in the second leg, Yeoman. The leg Zoran to throw first.
Out in 17
Game on.
darts. Both players hold their throw, but a little chance for Lerchbacher there.
Yeah. Well, look, you don't make it to the World Championship unless you're a good player. I mean,
100.
Zoran has the dubious honour of being the first man that Michael van Gerwen beat in his run to his debut world title. He beat him 3-0 in the first round.
81.
I suppose it took the best player to beat him.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can always say he lost to the winner.
$140.
Very straight darts, all in the middle of the 20 there. Lovely line.
134.
Top
Cup
treble in,
shooting,
yeah.
yeah. He moves down to the 19s. Bit of a blocker dart, that first one, covering up a lot of the treble. Bit like that one, but Zoran looks like he may stay there. And he does, to good effect.
100.
Ton gets him down to a finish. Down to a finish after 3 visits. That's what these guys are aiming to do.
Yeah, it's very good darts, leaving a finish
80.
after 9.
Drawing you require
And
161.
no need to do anything spectacular here. You'll just want to leave it handy. That's all he can hope for now.
45.
Could have gone better, but he leaves the 116. Murnan.
$95. Drawing you require
Important last
160.
dart. Now, 116 plays 111. Murnan looking to get a first break of throw. Is he going to get a poke at that 111? He might not, because Zoran, just a quick look, it was in. Tops it leaves, and
Team
tops he
shot
gets.
in the third leg.
Tom Plus
Zoran
check out,
Lerchbacher.
116, and
Will
Zoran
Jones to
Lerchbacher
throw first.
goes back into the lead.
Yeah, fabulous finish. The visit before almost made him need to
57.
take that out, and he stepped forward and executed it perfectly.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Plumber by trade, Zoran Lerchbacher. I know he sounds like a Bond villain. Ooh.
140.
Pressure straight on Murnan in this leg. He only went off 57. Lerchbacher jumped all over it with a 140.
95.
It's got to be quite tricky for Joe. I mean, he has made one quarter-final on the Pro Tour this year, but You know, he's 42 in the world, in the rankings. A big chunk of that is down to that incredible day he had in the Players' Championship. Not only did he go on and win all those games, win himself 10 grand, but that got him into the match play. That helped get him into the World Championship. And there's thousands of pounds there.
190.
That's helped propel him up the rankings. This year hasn't been quite as good. There's still time, though. We've got Players' Championship events in Barnsley midweek next week.
I mean, that win was effectively worth 25,000, 30,000
yeah,
pounds.
Exactly. You know, you have one good day and suddenly a load of doors can open for you. Oh, good darts, Joe Murnan.
140.
Yeah, leaves himself 90. Lerchbacher's got to find a treble to get himself down to a finish of any kind.
The best run on a European Tour event this year for Joe Murnan came in Gibraltar. He reached the last 16, beating Ross Smith, the infamous Ross Smith on the European Tour, and Terry Jenkins he beat there as well.
Oh, interesting. Murnan not going the bullseye route here. A lot of players with 90 would start in the treble 20s. A couple of single 20s would leave a go at the bullseye. But he's not used that as an insurance policy, and he's left Lerchbacher the 141. Well, there's the 1.
81.
And now
you require 40.
Going back for double top, feeling he did the right thing. Double 10 now. And there it is.
Shot in a full flag, German. The flag's on to throw first. Game on.
Well, there have been little sniffs of a break of throw so far, but it's all 4 legs going with the player who threw first at the moment. Both guys averaging in the high 80s.
190.
Very little between them in the opening stages here.
Yeah, nip and tuck, steady start.
100.
We spoke earlier about some of the interesting clashes
85.
This afternoon. This evening, some standout games as well. GNR Tut, the German who qualified last night, plays Ricky Evans, rapid Ricky Evans. Andy Jenkins against Steve West in a good old-fashioned ding-dong there. Kyle Anderson, Darren Webster, who I believe has got his own darts this week.
Yeah, slight problems with Darren Webster last week in that his luggage was lost by the airline, so he had to go and buy some darts from the merchandise store, let alone a load of new clobber from one of the shops
60
in Risa.
Also Max Hopp against Vincent van der Voort, and Joe Cullen against Jamie Lewis, who's got quite a story to tell this weekend.
He certainly does, and more of that later. But he's just become a dad for the first time. He's just moved house as well. I believe his new baby was born, what, yesterday morning?
Yesterday, I believe, yes.
Good darts from Zoran.
125.
Groan from the crowd here at the RWA Arena, desperately willing their first 180 in. It's pretty sparse at the moment, a couple of hundred, 200-300 in at the the moment. It is going to be sold out all the way through the weekend. 2,300 people here for Saturday and Sunday's action right the way through. Now, Lerchbacher already taken out the 116. Is he going to take out the 112?
80.
Not just yet, anyway. Come back looking at double 16 for a 5th consecutive hole of throw in this game.
96.
So here we go then.
Zornia requires 32.
Double 16 the target.
No
problem.
Shot in the 5th leg, Zorn Lerchbacher. 6th leg Joe to throw first. Game on.
Steady stuff from these two.
100.
5 holes of throw, not much in the averages. Zoran has that advantage of throwing first in this game, so if it just continues like this, then Lerchbacher is going to claim a 2nd win on the European Tour. You can see only 3 points in the overall averages.
140.
Zoran has scored a little bit more heavily in the first 3 visits to the board. Decent finishing from both of them. Oof, once again.
140.
Just missing out on that 180.
Yeah, very, very competent finishing actually there. Just shown on the screen, 67% and 50%. Not to be sniffed at.
100.
Both of these guys having to come through qualifiers to get here, as everybody you'll see today has done. We had the UK qualifiers for this quite some time ago. But the European and the host nation, well, European qualifiers were held just before Riesa last week, and the host nation qualifiers were held last night. So Zoran, as a Austrian, came through the European
83.
qualifiers, beat Roxy James Rodriguez, Antonio Alcinas, and Dirk van Dijvenbode to get here. It was Mark Webster and Mark Walsh that Joe Murnan managed to see off in a couple of close games.
60.
6-5 v Webby, 6-4 v Walshy. And he's only at the 60, but he's left Shanghai. Lerchbacher, an opportunity here. Ooh, he's jumping on it.
85. You require
Is
120.
it enough? He's on a 2-dart finish. Murnan will need all 3 to see off the 120. Got to find the treble 20. Moves across the oche. Doesn't find it. Chance for Lerchbacher.
60.
93 needed for a bit of daylight between these two for the first time.
It may only be a dart at the bullseye, depending which route he opts for. Oh, well, there is the bullseye, so he'll get a dart at a double. And that double will be double top. And he pins it. Fabulous finish from Lerchbacher. And a break of throw. 4-2 to the Austrian. Won his first match on the European Tour this year in Vienna.
7th leg, Zoran to throw
He's
first.
just a couple of legs away from winning his second.
Well, that's a standout moment of quality we've seen. He took out the 116 earlier, but that 93, Chris rightly called. He went the bullseye route first off, because had he hit the 25, it would still have given
60.
him a dart at the bullseye to win the leg. Some players will go quite an aggressive route of going straight at the treble 19, but Lerchbacher in the end hit the bullseye anyway with his first dart, which meant he got a dart at the double.
85.
Вирусная угроза была обнаружена.
Well, and the excellent finishing in this match continues.
Just going back to the players you were saying that they beat to get here, it shows how tough the tour is now, because you're having to beat real tough opponents to even get into these events. We'll have Paul Nicholson in the commentary box later on, and he struggled to get into the events last few years just because of the quality you're coming up against.
43.
As you said, Murnan beating Webster and Walsh. And
It's not easy. It really isn't. And, you know, Joe's it's only his 3rd Euro Tour of the year, and as we say, he won a title last year.
140.
Still, we wait for a first 180 of the tournament.
we're getting closer.
Murnan, you feel, is going to have
58.
to just up it a gear from somewhere, because at the moment, Lerchbacher on his throw is looking, I mean, he's not looking dominant, but he's doing enough.
He's looking comfortable.
Yeah.
These are certainly comfortable.
140.
I think that might be the 5th or 6th time we've had 2 in the treble bed, and the other one has just missed out on filling it up.
134.
Well, look, he's done
So when you require
116
120.
in the second leg, 93 in the last leg. Now he's looking at 120 to continue this run of fabulous finishing. Still a chance. And that chance remains possible.
80.
Just over the top this time, but no trouble because Murnan can't go out.
Well, that's it. I mean, he took out the 93 with 1 dart at tops. That was an important one to break with
54.
Murnan on a finish.
So when you require
Not
40.
the worst thing in the world that he's missed that one, because he knows he's going to get 3 more. But now it becomes important. It becomes very important for 5-2. Lerchbacher to go within a leg of the second round. And that will do. It's 5-2, and Murnan needs to win the last 4 legs.
First. Game on. $96.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Lerchbacher. I mean, that key breaker throw, the 93 finishes, if he does win the match, effectively what has won it in, but there could be a few more twists and turns yet. But like you said, Danny's just looking fairly assured.
That's it. I mean, even if he'd missed that dart at tops to break for the 93 and Murnan had held there, you just get the feeling Murnan's still going to have to do something a little bit better to break Lerchbacher. And there's the first 180.
Right on cue. Dan asked for a little bit better. He went a lot better.
Don't get any better than that.
Well, that remains to be seen this weekend, but there was certainly lots of 180s, 9 dart attempts all over the place in Riesa. Still hasn't happened.
Yeah, 3 times we saw double 12
42.
missed for the 9 darter last weekend. toying with us. Oh, this is a real opportunity now for Lerchbacher to close this game out. Just a quick look at the scores. I think he'll stay there. Don't see any reason why he wouldn't. Okay, well, if I was in a 170, why not? Why not? What a setup shot that is from Zoran Lerchbacher. He's not hit a 180, but he's hit the 170, and it's left him 51 for a potential 11 darter and a 6-2 win to kick things off here at the Happy Bet European Darts Trophy.
So he's looking down at 19 for double 16. And he gets it. Zoran Lerchbacher with a convincing win. Very good performance for the Austrian. 6-2 against Joe Murnan. Hypercane goes through to the next round. We'll be back in a moment with Ronnie Hybrex against